Hello and welcome to Dash 28 Live. I'm your host, Mike Atkins, and welcome to Match 2 of the Historic International Club Challenge between the Northern Kings and Tabletop Titans. For this match, we will have Adam Padley representing the Northern Kings, playing against Marc Taylor representing the Tabletop Titans. Hi, guys.
Hey there.
And you guys are going to be playing Control. And also here in the booth with me, I've got Matt Carmack and Rashad, and possibly Jeff Swan here in a minute if he can get his technical issues worked out. So we're running just a touch behind. So let's go ahead and just go straight into your lists. So let me bring those up on the screen here so you guys can tell us what you are playing. All right. And this is Marc's Twilight Kin. Marc, could you walk us through your list?
For sure. So mine starts off with 2 regiments of Impalers, one with Vicious and one with Crushing Strength 2. Love those things. People feel like they need to be a horde. They're fragile, but you just need to deliver them correctly, and they do work.
Those people are wrong.
Correct. Blade Dancers with Pathfinder, because a unit, Speed 7 with Thunderous Charge 1, shouldn't want to worry about terrain. The staple of Twilight Kin, in my opinion, a horde of tall spheres with the hammer. Next, we can't have the thick invitational without thick chaff, so we have 3 regiments of butchers, followed by 2 hordes of fiends. One has sharpness, so it goes to melee 3. The other one has the boots of striding. Then 2 soulbanes. One will have duelist. Those things are amazing, and are also mounted, are just so good. Speed 9. Wonderful. Finally, then, we have 2 Summoner Crones. One has the Scepter to get up to Drain Life 9, as you do, with the Boots of Levitation, because that's what you do. And finally, there's just another one, this time with the Inspiring Talisman, because otherwise I don't have a whole lot of Crone-bound on my list, and I wanted another source of just universal inspiring. So, rounds it out.
Awesome. Thank you for that. And now over to Adam's Night Stalkers. Adam, could you walk us through your list, please?
Yeah, I'll walk you through the list now that I know what my list is, since I forgot what I submitted. So I've got 2 regiments of scarecrows, 2 hordes of scarecrows, because, unlocks cheap. Troop of phantoms, because, fly. Regiment of butchers and a horde of butchers, because they're alright. 3 mine screeches, because windblast. That's why you're taking them, obviously. A regiment of fiends, a horde of fiends with caterpillar, because, speed 8. Terror, I love the terror. It's probably not the better monster, but I prefer it. The other giant's probably better, but yeah. Shade, nice all-round unit. Horror with boomstick and Bame Chant, because why not? And 2 mediocre Reaper Soul Drinkers.
Absolutely. You're such a fool to take Reaper Soul Drinkers. They're so terrible. Definitely not worth 65 points.
Everyone told me that they were crap when I said they were really good, so I'm just going to go with the fact that they're rubbish, and we'll see what happens.
I intend to help you prove a point here in this game.
Exactly.
Hey, Jeff!
And Jeff's here.
Hey!
Jeff, thanks for joining us.
I finally got my potato working. I just grabbed my tablet instead. I was like, I'm done working with this freaking computer.
Awesome. Well, thanks for joining us. We just went through the lists, and now we're going to bring up the UB room so they can talk us through their deployments. Here we go. All right, so you guys are playing Control. You're playing on one of the Epic Dwarf maps. You've labeled the terrain heights here. And you've got these 2 stones in the middle marking off the corners of the table sections for Control. For this club challenge, we're first doing just straight scenario win-loss draw to determine which club wins. And if there's a tie there, then we go into Northern Kings scoring bonus points and attrition. So you guys are just looking for first just a win, and then if it turns into a tie, then we go into how much people won by. And currently, the Tabletop Titans are up 1-0. So, look, I think we've got Adam's Night Stalkers across the top. Adam, could you walk us through your deployment starting over here on the left, please?
Yeah, so Regiment of Fiends on left, Regiment of Scarecrows, Horde of Scarecrows with 2 mediocre Soul Drinkers behind, Horde of Fiends with Pathfinder, Horde of Scarecrows with a Shade, a Phantom, a Horror, and a Butcher Regiment behind them. A Regiment of Scarecrows next to that, surrounded by some Mind Screeches, and then a Terror and a Butcher Horde. God, there's a lot of units. All right,
You're telling me. 17 drops of Night Stalkers. Not too bad.
That's not bad.
So on my bottom left is my Spearman Horde. In front of that is my non-duelist Soulbane, with one of the Butcher regiments behind it. Next is the J-Boots Fiends, intending just to walk forward and poke their head into the forest and then charge up turn 2. Surprise. In front of that is the Levitation Crone, so the one with Friend Life 9, the non-universal inspiring Crone. Blade Dancers with Pathfinder, because again, gonna just poke out, get cover on turn 1. Moving further down, that is the Sharpness Fiends. They are positioned such that they can walk forward 8 and clear that wall. Butchers are next to them, with both the Impaler regiments behind. That Summoner Crone behind the Butchers there, that's the Universal Inspiring Crone. And then on the far right, we've got the Duelist Soulbane, because he was dropped before most of the heroes, and I saw that hole between the Scarecrow Horde and the regiment there opposite the field, and figured at least a Horror, maybe the Shade, or a Reaper Soul Drinker was going to go there. So figured it was good odds that I'd have opportunity to capitalize on my Duelist. And then finally, there's that last regiment of Butchers.
All right, great. Okay, well, thanks, guys. And you are going to be playing on 70-minute clocks.
That's correct.
So good luck to both of you. Have fun. We'll be watching, but not in a creepy way. And we'll see you back
always
here.
in a creepy way.
Always in a creepy way. That's right. Says the guy with the deep, gravelly voice. All right, so you guys have fun. We'll see you back here when you're done. And
All right.
Good luck.
Thank you. See you in a little bit.
Guys.
Good luck.
All right. And we'll
Add their
add
clock to the
screen.
Okay, so first up, what do you guys think about these deployments?
Let's see. The scenario was control, correct?
Yep. I think I like the way Adam deployed his Mind Screeches so that he can fly into terrain in the first turn. Keep shooting out of that terrain. I think Mark won the roll, right? To pick sides, probably?
Looks like it, yeah.
Looks like it, yeah.
To pick the bottom. The Fiends are positioned well because they have Pathfinder. So they'll be fighting in the forest. I mean, he's got a lot of bodies on the table for 2,300 points. Night Stalkers do that very well.
Yeah, but a lot of his bodies die pretty quick.
Very quick.
They don't hold up. More reach from Mark's stuff. Be nice to drop out a couple of things, but I don't think that's going to happen. It's going to be pretty fighty, but I don't know. It's kind of fun. The Night Stalkers versus the Twilight Kin, because it's going to be pretty Night Stalker-y on Night Stalker. So let's see.
Yeah, a little bit of a mirror match kind of vibe.
Yeah, I mean, I think Adam's deployment's pretty good. He's already got a lot of unit strength in each quadrant. I don't know about the northeast side gonna be able to have it at the end, but it kind of looks like Adam's just planning on having the middle and the left side of the board at the end. Because all he has to do is win. So it's like doesn't matter if he wins by an inch or a mile type of situation. So. Not a lot of shooting that either one's worried about. I don't know if I'd be putting that butcher chaff up as quick as Marc is doing right now.
One thing about Adam's list is he does have about, I think, 24 lightning bolt altogether.
Right, yeah. And stealth doesn't matter.
Yeah, stealth doesn't matter, and they're sort of all on the same side, so it's going to be interesting to see what he's going to do with all that lightning bolt, because he deployed it well in the sense that he can now put them all on the same target if he needs to, and he probably will target the butchers first, I think, but the impalers are also great targets. The fiends are only defense 4, so they're all good targets, really.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Adam joked about the wind blast part of it, but I that's why I like the mind screeches, because lightning bolt and wind blast, like, everybody laughs, but like wind blast is like dope. I don't know if I build a list that doesn't have wind blast in it unless I just don't have access to wind blast anywhere in the list. So I know it's a joke, but at the end of the game, if you go second, which Adam's going second, that wind blast is going to be really, I mean, like, he could blast him completely out of his zone very easily into multiple units. So
We saw some really good uses of wind blast in the last game, actually. So yeah, it's no joke. Like Elliot managed to blow a unit of a heavy cav just back, so their corner was behind a building, and they couldn't. They basically lost a turn.
Oh, I missed that part. I was looking at Jeremy's horsemen, and I was like, why are they where they are? I missed that. So, good job.
Yeah, I was the only one that took wind blast in a list at Dojo a couple weeks ago, and I won 2 games purely off of wind blast. So, I mean, legitimately just because I had wind blast 18 in the list. Which, guess what? He's got 18.
18 is quite a bit, yeah.
Yep.
What were you using to get access to 18?
Trident Realms. I had a Ector, a Mythican, and Depth Horror Eternal with the Zephyr Crown.
Did you use it throughout the whole game, or did you just do it in the last turn by the time your opponent had forgotten that you actually have Wind Blast and you blew him up? Objective.
Well, Ectors you use every turn no matter what. Yeah, Ectors you use every single turn period, just because you don't ever let double charges happen. And I think that's going to be a big deal for Adam here, is because with all that Wind Blast, he's going to basically, unless Marc sets up against it, which Marc's smart, he's really good about putting bump stops places, which that's kind of why he's got things where they are right now with the bump stops for the individuals. But like that, if he doesn't bump it right, then essentially Adam can always tell Marc he's only going to get single charges on stuff, right? Because he can Wind Blast 3 units a turn, where sometimes the Wind Blast is better than the Lightning Bolt, because doing 2 or 3 wounds to something isn't really relevant. But if you can stop it from charging for a turn and knock out, 10 to 20 attacks that you would have got to do that turn, that's way more beneficial than a couple of Lightning Bolts.
Good point.
And he can force hindered charges here quite often. What I don't like about Marc's side here is he's putting so many things right there in the forest. I can't tell if both of those have one Pathfinder, one Strider. I can't remember because they both have very similar lists. But Adam being able to push.
You talking about the fiends? Sorry.
And sharpness on another.
Okay, so sharpness will kind of delete it a little bit. But yeah, like just those 3 mind screeches, they are able to push Marc stuff back into hindered charges can be really devastating. So
let's see if he takes advantage of that.
It looks like Marc is pushing up as hard as he can to try to avoid that. If he can get the butchers on the right past that building, so where he can deny the flank to the 2 units that are up top here, basically the other butchers in the terror. It's great. We're getting Night Stalkers versus Night Stalkers here, so it's going to be a lot of butchers. But yeah, if he can
Adam.
pin to that building, he can keep these 2 units out of the game for a couple turns potentially, even with the wind blast.
Yeah. I mean, obviously he wants to get over there on that side as quick as possible, right?
Yeah.
Because he needs to get. I mean, that horde of spears he's got on the left side is going to be a really dope position for him later on because Adam's got to do something about that horde because it's not going to move anywhere. And once he gets it on that center line right there, he can choose what quadrant he wants to be in at the end of the game right there. And he doesn't have a lot to deal with it over there. So once he gets all set up in position, it would take everything that Adam's got on that left side of the field to kill that horde with how much soul drain and stuff like that. Or drain life, I should say, that he's got in there to heal that spear horde. Because those things don't evaporate as quick as people think they're going to go away. Phalanx, lots of attacks, defense 4, and some heal behind it. It's going to take a commitment, and it's going to take a double, triple charge to make it happen, right? And Adam's stuff to deal with it on that side, all is large cav, right? Yep. Am I wrong? So those are all going to be -1 to hit on top of it. So, I mean, he could put literally everything he has on that left side of the field, because those are scarecrows, right? They're not reapers in the middle?
Yeah, they're scarecrows.
Yeah, those aren't going to do shit, so...
The Reaper's Soul Drinkers are only 5 attacks, right?
Yeah. But see, like... And Marc's done a good job of just basically saying, I'll put these butchers here so that I can guarantee you can't double charge. But I think I would have just left the butchers back a little bit and said, go ahead, charge me with the fiends, see what happens. I mean, hitting on 5s, that's a bad day. So
yeah.
And you got enough drain life to soak it off, am I wrong? So
can someone check the angle on those spearmen on the left? It looks like he's trying to get right past their arc.
Yeah,
he's probably got it.
Past it.
Yeah.
He was past it, and then he moved back just to be barely past it, because I think he's trying to keep his arc to where he can see the spearmen. Barely tag the back. Yep.
Yeah. The thing with that move is
doing.
All Marc has to do is just move up.
Yeah, and just ignore them and drain life them to death.
Yeah.
That wasn't a very good move.
Yeah.
Sorry, my computer was being a potato earlier. So what was the on Adam's behind in the top middle? What's those little white circles at the top? Is that the phantoms?
Yes.
Okay, so fly chaff for late. Yeah, I mean, like, and those are Reaper or not Reapers? What are they called? What's the Blackguard called in Twilight Kin? They're not Blackguard. They're
Impalers.
Impalers.
Soul Reavers or something. Impalers. Yeah, whatever. Yeah. They've been renamed.
He even has names on his units.
Yeah, I can't fucking zoom in on this thing. Oh, there we go. Never mind. I got it now.
I'm sorry, Jeff. Go ahead.
Yeah. So, but basically, the issue I see is he's got to be able to have. Marc's got to have something that's going to be able to deal with the mind screeches, and I just don't know what the hell he's going to do about them.
He does have the 2 Soulbanes mounted, and I think that's probably gonna be.
Yeah, but then he just has to stay. Yeah, you just gotta stay 16 from him, though, right? And all of his spells are 18 and 24, and they fly.
I think they are speed 9 on a horse, actually.
Yeah,
are
speed
they?
9.
Yeah, friggin' elves.
Because elf.
Because elf. Yep.
But the thing is, if Adam plays it smart, he'll never get a charge off because he can screen him.
Right.
The mind screeches don't take cover modifiers from the scarecrows in front of them because of
Correct.
the mind screeches are height 5, the scarecrows are height 1. So it's kind of like how the death engines were working in the 2nd edition. You guys remember that bullshit? 36
right.
shots.
Yeah. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Very similar to that.
Yeah, I mean, but that's another thing. That terror right there is going to be. That's pretty much how I play my Krakens. Find an anchor point and just say, I am a mobile piece of terrain now.
Yeah.
I mean, -2 to hit it, regen out the wazoo. I mean, and he's basically just saying, he's going to go to the next turn. He's going to go to the front of that building, but stay protected on the flank. And then he's just going to leave it there and just anchor up. And then if you come into the front of any of the scarecrows, he's just going to be like, all right, cool, man. I'm going to take these flanks. It's just a bad day. And people also forget that those Mind Screeches, they can fight, dude. You give them a flank, they can fight.
They did 5 attacks. Yeah.
Yeah, no, they're no slouches. And, I mean, they're in snare on top of that, so you're dealing with just trying to mow down it's dash 15 regen in snare?
For a Mind Screech?
Oh, the Terror? The Terror? Yeah, the Terror.
Oh, no, the Terror is like dash 20, I thought.
Dash 19, yeah.
Defense 3, that's his only bane.
Yeah.
But other than that, he's you can't have. He's in snare too.
Yeah.
And stealthy.
I was going to say, you know what defense 3 matters in this case? Absolutely not a bit.
No.
Because you can't hit it.
Yeah, that's true.
It's like those butchers just have extra crushing for no reason. Unless you can get the Impalers into it, which, I mean, that would be his best unit to fight it face-to-face, but one regiment's not going to kill it anywhere by the time this game is over.
Yeah, he doesn't want to fight the Terror.
No.
Really. He doesn't want to fight it at all.
He just wants to keep it right where it is, if anything.
Yeah.
And I think Adam placed it well because right now the butchers on the right would be in the flank, but obviously he's blocking it with the terrain piece.
Yeah.
Well done there.
No, it was definitely right to start wheeling toward the center than to try to keep pushing down that flank. Because I think it would have been he would have been able to ignore the Terror if it had gone around on the flank. He would have spent 3 turns repositioning it, and by the time it got relevant again, he could have picked up most of the middle of the table in theory. But now the Terror's in the middle of the table again.
One issue I see potentially for Marc is he doesn't really have anything dedicated to the butchers on the right flank right now that he's facing from Adam. And
he's just going to ignore him.
That's what I'm saying. So like he might just give up that quadrant trying to take the center and the left probably.
Yeah.
Because he just really doesn't have enough to deal with it on that side at all.
I mean, there's a whole lot of chaff for Adam here. So it's a lot more... His ability to dictate the fights right now is going to be really strong. And it's going to be hard to put in enough stuff into the right places for Marc to actually make an important dent. Like, he can pick up some of these Scarecrow units quickly, but then the countercharge is going to hurt him a lot more than just killing a couple Scarecrows.
And you can't charge the Soul Vein into the Butchers either, because the Butchers would probably waver it in 1 turn.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
I mean...
Butchers are good.
If
anything, maybe he tries and sneaks the Soul Bane kind of into the top right behind the Butchers. I don't know if he's got the movement to sneak past their arc there.
I think he does. With 18, he would probably be able to go around it.
Yeah.
He can get all the way back here.
Yeah. Because if he can get there, then he can start threatening the Mind Screeches.
Yeah.
Grab a cold beetle quick, I'll be back.
That's more of an option. I don't think he needs to threaten them right away. Because realistically, I mean, the Mind Screecher is going to do what the Mind Screecher is going to do. Him punching one of them won't stop that. So I think it's more important to bring that dread to play against just how much nerve he's got to chew through. Just having that guaranteed -1 is a big deal. If anything, and I don't know if he'd be able to... I don't think Marc will go in next turn, or at least I hope he doesn't go in next turn. That would be bad.
I don't know. None of these guys are wasting much time sliding stuff forward.
Yeah.
Like, this isn't just push it forward. Like, you can tell that they both have a plan, the way they've moved things and angled things and layered things. But I think this is, I think we're going to see combat starting pretty quickly here.
Yeah. I like Adam's positioning is really strong right now. He's kind of got that crest, that inverted crescent going on. So like if Marc punches straight forward, which is realistically where he's going to get the most charges next turn, if he were to go in, he's going to be dealing with everything coming in on his flank.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think he can punch through the center in one turn. So I think next turn Marc should spend time positioning.
Cheers, everybody.
Cheers.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, they're played on 70-minute clocks, and Marc only burned like 8 minutes.
Well, he's got a lot.
He's got plenty of time.
Yeah, he has a lot less stuff.
Right.
So.
And Marc is a very fast player, actually.
Yeah. Know the game plan, execute the game plan.
It's good he's got so many reps in with this list. He won Bug Eater GT with it, which was not an easy room to be in.
Yeah, it was a strong room. I mean, most tournaments that have been happening this year, I feel, are going to be the people who just really desperately want to do tournaments, and those are going to be the people who normally enjoy tournaments.
Well, I decided for a house rule for the Riddle of Steel GT, which is going to be an online tournament again this year. So we're giving 5 points to armies that only have max 2 duplicates, and we're giving 10 points, tournament points, to armies that only have max 1 duplicate in them, to encourage different type list building a little bit. Because what I've been seeing is, and the list that I'm building myself, if I want to build a really good undead list, it starts with 4 regiments of zombies.
Right.
You know what I mean? So like, I want to try and make people be a little bit more creative about the list building.
Looks like there is 1 wound on the Soulbane there.
Yep. So it looks like we're going for lightning bolts.
Shooting the Soulbane, interestingly, so he's hoping to waver that thing.
Yeah.
Which he can.
Pretty good.
Because individual doesn't work against lightning bolt, right? And stealthy doesn't work either.
Nope.
And same target with his, I think, horror with the boomstick there.
He's in Wavertown.
Don't know if that was nerve there or damage. No, it was damage, it looks like.
That was nerve right there, no?
And then that was nerve.
And he's good. He didn't waver him.
Yeah.
That would have been an easy waiver on 6 wounds. What is he, 13, 15? Or?
I think he's only 13, 15. I don't think he's fearless. I think only
the Soulbane, yeah, no, he's 13, 15. He's not.
Yeah. Mikhail's the fearless one, the one that just eats things for breakfast.
Yep.
Question is, will he be able to drain live anything? Like, starting to get those wounds off? No.
I don't think he can. I think the positioning here is far too important for him to.
That drain live on the Crone is so good with that. Is it 12-inch or 18-inch range for the heal?
It's 12-inch for Cronebound. No, yeah, you're right, 18, but it's only Cronebound.
That's only Cronebound, yeah.
Yeah, so if he wanted to get the Soulbane healed, he'd need to get within 6.
Okay.
So Adam Ballard had a question about your tournament duplicate rules, Rashad.
Yes?
Is it any duplicate or just hero, monster, war machine?
Any duplicate, but the exception is, so you can still take, let's say, a zombie horde, a zombie regiment, and a troop, and that will still just count as a single choice. But the moment you start taking 2 in the same format, you get the ding.
Yeah, I was going to say that could get restrictive for some armies looking at goblins who need, their unlocks pretty desperately. You get 5 unlocking units in the army, and 2 of them are hordes.
Yep. I think we have moved on here to Marc's turn 2.
It does look like he's going to try to take that charge. I don't know if he could have made that. That was a little presumptuous, but I guess. Because I don't think he can quite pivot past the terror there.
Yeah, no, I don't think so.
At the very least, if nothing else, it would be the definition of a teleport. Well, maybe not. That corner's... It's hard to tell if he's parallel to the corner or not. He's definitely going to try for it. 1. I think he can do it in 2 pivots. Because free turn, pivot, Nah, he got it.
Yeah, he should be able to do that.
Because if he can connect, well, ooh, pick up in place.
Yeah.
No, I think that actually counts as a teleport.
So he
As weirdly as that sounds.
He couldn't pass the terror, is what you're saying, after he hits it, right?
Yeah.
Well, so
You
it's
have to
weird,
teleport.
right? I actually think he can because of the corner rules, because he's still technically touching the initial point of impact. Yeah, like it looks like he's trying to figure it out, because it should be doable. You just go a little bit further than that. Yeah. Because all he has to do is come in where he's just touching the corner and then pick up in place.
If he can, well done.
Yeah. And as long as he can still be touching the corner, like if he slides further than the corner, then it doesn't work. Yeah, trying to figure it out.
I think that they're probably talking it through at this moment and figuring out is it possible or not. And
I definitely think it's possible if he can fit on the... So once he picks up and places to the front, if he can still touch the corner when he does that, then I think it's okay. But I don't know if he can actually fit there.
Right, touching that front right corner of the Mind Screech without his back corner touching the chair. Right.
Even if he doesn't do that, this is a very good example for any new players who might be watching the stream of clever charges you can do.
Yeah, with an individual that doesn't fly.
Yeah. Especially with an individual.
Right, because you get that one free pivot.
Yeah, it just shows just how hard it is to block him off.
Yep.
And in fairness, I think Adam could have easily prevented that just by having the Mind Screech like half an inch forward, and that would have stopped it anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
And he probably intended that to be the case and just played quick.
Yeah. They probably talked it through, and Adam stated that was his intent, that he couldn't make that charge, and I think that's totally fine. And UB's one of those platforms where a millimeter could make a difference, and you could actually be in. So it's good to, once you agree to these things, that it is what it is.
Yeah.
But he might have not talked it through before. He might have not said it. That's why it's good to like announce and talk through what you're doing.
Yeah, they both went very fast in their first turn, so it's possible they didn't necessarily check everything and declare everything. It's hard to know what they're talking about.
Yeah.
But it looks like he's moved on to moving some butchers over here on the left instead of trying to take that charge. I don't know if that'd be a great charge to take anyway. I mean, sure, he punches one of them, but he's not going to kill it in one shot.
Yeah.
It just backs up, and the others turn and lightning bolt him again, and then it's dead. So
I don't know if Marc... I mean, he should have a little bit of a speed advantage over Adam here. So if he was to kind of turn the table a little bit more to the left, like if he turns his whole army toward the left flank instead of the center, then he might be able to roll stuff up fast enough before Adam's right flank kind of consolidates inward in time.
One thing I don't like about Marc's deployment is that
it's a little too central.
He has to go into the center, right? He does.
Yeah.
I wish he had a Fiend Horde and the Spearman on the left and the rest on the right, so that he could start eating away the army and then move himself into the center, rather than now he's sort of like trying to have to defend himself on two flanks while he's going against shitty targets all across the front.
I think a lot of it has to do with that impassable terrain in the bottom left. It just kind of restricted Marc's deployment a lot and how he had to deploy, because if he deploys and then tries to walk around that building, I mean, I guess he could have spent more of last turn kind of angling toward the left, which still would have been my ideal. It's hard to tell because Marc's army wants to hit some section of the opponent's army and just punch it and just make it go away. So if he, in theory, I mean, I've always said if you can't win the flanks, which Adam is definitely winning the flanks right now, then the other thing to do is just murder your opponent's center before the flanks matter. but I don't think he can bring enough stuff forward fast enough to make that happen before those flanks reach in and just pop him.
I like what he's doing here. He's going to protect the flank of the butchers with the spearmen.
Yeah.
Is he? Yeah, he is. So that's I kind of like that because, like Jeff was saying earlier, on his left flank, Adam doesn't really have much to deal with that. Oh, he's double charging. Is that
He's actually charging there.
Yeah. No, I like that.
The range.
So he levitated his crone over to keep them out of the woods and to shift the charge over.
Yep.
That far, which keeps the spears out of charge range of these fiends with Pathfinder, but not the butchers. But that's probably okay.
Looks like he'll probably throw the Soulbane into the fiends just to chaff them up, maybe.
Yeah.
I'm actually really impressed with what Marc's doing here.
I don't know whether or not this unit of fiends over here on the end is in the front or flank of the spears now, though.
Yeah, that's the danger, right?
The fiends?
Yeah.
If nothing else, if he doesn't pick up the other danger here is if those scarecrows don't disappear, then the Soulbane's just gonna chain reaction everything down the line for those fiends, and he'll be able to swing much faster. Because he'll pick up the Soulbane, then he'll pick up the butchers, and then he doesn't need to kill the spearmen, he just needs to keep them from turning, and then they'll die the next turn.
Right.
The spearmen and the butchers together should probably kill the scarecrows. The scarecrows are only dash 21 defense 3, right?
Yeah, but dash is good.
But it's fours. It's fours because those spearmen have hammer adventure's force.
Yes, they're actually tougher. Yeah, they have the hammer of measured force.
That is such a
because that's 9 from the butchers, so you're gonna get maybe 4, and then the spearman is gonna be. Spearmen are gonna hit a couple more times because elite, so you're probably looking at maybe on 4s.
I mean, the butchers are gonna do 3 wounds on average, maybe, right?
It's 3 or 4, yeah.
Yeah. So the spearmen are they get 15 hits. If they hit on 4s, right?
It's like 16 or 17 with elite, give or take. So he's looking at like 7 or 8. So like it's not impossible, but it's definitely not guaranteed. I don't know.
At all,
Can was he able to position with the caster so that he can still cast Drain Life?
It's got boots of levitation.
In that case, that might be the tipping point because Drain.
I don't know about the tipping point. I would have said if the spearman didn't have the hammer, then yeah, that would have been the tipping point. But with that hammer, man, I mean, he's going to look at maybe 13, 14 wounds total there.
Well, the Drain will add another like 3 or 4, and that'll do it. That'll get him down to like a 4 or 3 nerve check, give or take. As long as he doesn't roll absolutely garbage.
I'm not super familiar with Night Stalkers. That Summoner Crone has Inspiring for Cronebound only. Does Mind Thirst still work on that?
Yes, because it works on any instance of Inspiring, I believe.
Okay, so the Scarecrow horde is inspired then.
Yeah.
So this is really risky on that left flank, I think. I think I might have... Yeah, let's see what happens. I think if he rolls a little above average, he's got it. If he rolls a little under average, he's going to be flanked by fiends and spearmen, which you don't want.
Yep. And we'll see how much he gets with the Drain Life up front before he starts punching them.
Drain Life 6, right?
9, I think.
9, yeah.
Drain Life 9.
Got the Scepter upgrade.
Yeah. That's the one that'll tip it if
it's
going to tip.
Probably, right? 4.5 hits, about 3 wounds probably.
Yeah. My thing is, if he kills the horde, the reform after is just as important. So he tilts the butchers. I guess he can try and tilt the butchers to where he only gives the scarecrows a flank, but doesn't give the fiends a flank. Maybe gives the fiends a rear that they can't get to. The fiends on the left, I should say, not the ones from the forest.
Well,
right. He should be able to. He should be able to reposition the spearman pretty easily without getting into line of sight of the fiend.
Shuffle with the spearman. Even an inch would already put him in the front.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, that's the easy one.
And
this on the right I like a lot. Bringing the butchers in, like just saying screw it, I'm not going to worry about the horde, because he can always just turn around. Like the horde wants to come and play chase, then he just turns the butcher regiment around, and then the horde can't do anything anyway.
Okay. And they're only speed 6, right? So he's just okay.
Holding up the center with that one Soulbane that already has 6 wounds on it. Also a really good choice, actually.
Yeah.
In terms of like moving his stuff up and going, hey, have 6 wounds on there already. He's basically throwing both of them in front, saying, okay, I'm going to use them as chaff while I move my shit up. And his fiends also don't have a good target next turn, the Pathfinder ones. So
I do think he might want to consider moving his fiends up further forward. I think he may have forgotten about the Wind Blast in the back, because that may shove him. I mean, if he gets enough Wind Blast on that fiend unit in the center, he could push it out of charge range.
Where's Jeff Swan when Wind Blast is about to get used?
Yeah, right.
Oh, speak of the devil.
Oh, see?
Yeah.
I called your name,
I'm
Jeff.
back. You summoned me. Yeah. Sorry. I don't know what happened, but literally locked up, so.
It's okay. 3, 6. Oh, that's true. Excellent point by Adam Ballard that the Soulbane being here actually throws dread on these scarecrows as well.
So dash 20 at that point?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's enough. I mean, it's still bad dice rolls apart. Like, on average, he should pop it now.
Oh, nice. I love that. Sorry, I missed some of this stuff. I love that Marc's got that cheeky little individual play to force his stuff to the left. Dope move.
Looks like he's moving on to Drain Life, I'm guessing, from the Crone. Yep, Drain Life.
And that's exactly what he wanted to see.
Ooh,
4 wounds.
4. That's really good. 4 wounds on Drain Life 9.
I mean, they're defense 3, so that's about right.
Yeah, that's what you want to. It's what you want to cast Drain Life on. Nice defense.
I would still say I would always prefer, I think, the Brew of Strength over the hammer on those spearmen. I think
it's cheaper. And
it is cheaper, but by half.
Well, you're getting rid of your odds, though, right? Is it just basically you're saying I know what this unit's going to do every single turn, no matter what?
Oof.
So
did you see that? Just a hammer of measured force for 11, and just said screw you. So the dice went the other direction. So yeah, that's should be double ones territory.
Yeah.
So the butchers were a little under.
Yeah, so 18. So dread doesn't really matter at this point.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. And there they go.
Yep. Spearman made up for it.
yeah, now he's all set because he can pivot that into the left. The butchers can go the right. Cover up his.
Well, I'd be careful about that.
You just got to make sure he's not going to give them a rear with that pivot right there.
Yeah.
Well, no, it doesn't matter. Individual's mighty, so.
Yeah, I was going to say, Soulbane should keep him safe.
Yeah.
Very well done. That was very nicely done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now he's got the left flank really well tied up. As long as dice don't come swinging back the other direction, he should be okay. I'm still a little concerned about the double Reaper Soul Drinkers over there, because that's a lot of extra punch.
Slide Jeff up. Here we go.
Can they see that individual right now? They can't, right? He blocked it with the butchers. They can't see
one of them probably can. The other one I'm not so sure about.
Which individual? I want this one.
Who let the dog out? They talk about the sorceress, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, the sorceress he should be okay with.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a long shot, but he just wanted to get in the way there.
Yeah. It's thoroughly in the way, and I think that's probably the end of his turn. I think that's all the combats.
Yeah.
Yeah. So big swing from Marc over here on the left, taking out a Scarecrow horde. And now it's Adam's turn to respond.
He just
and
needs
clockwise
to
with
touch the angle.
Yeah. I mean, if he backs up the Butcher Regiment...
Yeah.
If he backs up the Butcher Regiment, they'll slide over. But he needs to do that first. Or get them out of the way in some other fashion. He might be able to try to double charge the Soulbane.
He could just sidestep it. He could just sidestep it too.
I don't know if he can double charge the Soulbane, because if these Scarecrows slide over, they might
touch the Fiends currently right now. Yeah. It's got to get a lot of stuff out of the way.
Yeah, Mark definitely got all up in his face here in the middle, and now he's got to punch his way out.
That's how you do
We told him he was going to charge him on turn 2. It's not like he didn't tell him.
Yeah, I think these guys both had a mutual understanding that this game was not going to take a very long time. That they were just going to go at it. Not going to be a lot of tiptoeing and dancing.
So Adam is taking the fiends into the crone, hoping to overrun into the butchers.
Yep. And that's the Pathfinder one, so they don't get hindered by the woods.
Correct. It's an interesting move. I think he's going
to... Ooh.
Okay.
That's it.
Yeah, it's probably an oversight there. Though I don't know if that picks up the fiends in one go.
Probably not.
Yeah.
Although those things have quite a few attacks for just being a troop, right? I don't remember exactly. Let me check.
I think they're still just 10.
Phantoms, they are 12 attacks on 4s.
So
oh, they're 12. Okay.
But they have no crushing, but they're fighting defense 4. So 6 wounds.
Looking at 6. Yeah.
You might be thinking of Wraith troops. They still only have 10 attacks, crushing 1.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, they got the crushing.
Bad 6 wounds on Fiends is not bad, but then again, he's got that. Yeah.
You could bring in, I mean, again, those 2 characters on the left, those Soul Reaper Impalers.
Reaper Soul Drinkers?
Soul Drinkers? Yeah, that's it. I was like...
Yeah, these guys.
I mean,
a scary sounding name that was picked at random because Night Stalkers.
Because Night Stalkers, right?
Adam doesn't have
throwing darts at a dartboard.
Yeah.
Oh, we lose Jeff again? My bad. Sorry about that.
And you were right, Mark. So he just ended up ignoring the butchers on the right for now. He's focusing on the center.
Yeah.
For a minute. One of my favorite units in his list is the Blade Dancers. He's got Pathfinder in there, or what does he got? Yeah.
J Boots?
Yeah.
Or Pathfinder?
Yeah.
He's got Pathfinder. That's such a good unit, in my opinion. Like, I love the Blade Dancers.
Oh, yeah. People way underestimate how good they are. But I was just listening to, who was it that just did a review on them, just saying they were garbage or whatever? I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Was that the Countercharge review?
It might have been, yeah, with Steve Hildre and stuff. I was like, are you fucking crazy? I mean, like, they're not good to spam.
Yeah, I don't think they're just a point and click unit, which is what a lot of people think about things in the game. Is they're too much. If it doesn't do damage, then it's not good, or if it doesn't do all the things, it's not good. Like, Blade Dancers are very glass cannon-y. Like, you poke them and they fall over.
Well, I mean, they're
speed 7.
Yeah, well, and Wild Charge D3. That's what people forget. Is like speed 7 Wild Charge D3 with 20 attacks. Get that in a flank. Yeah, melt. And then you have a Bane Chant list anywhere.
Yeah, he does have Bane Chant in his list.
Yeah, I think he's still trying to figure it out.
I mean, shit, he doesn't even need Bane Chant versus Adam's list. They'll straight up melt one of those Reaper regiments easily. Maybe a Horde. What is he
trying to... Okay, he can't do both of those things. He can't triple charge there.
Right.
There's no way.
What I also like about Mark charging the butchers in there is that they're height 2, and now those Mind Screechers, they want to shoot over.
He couldn't fit the terror there in the first place. I don't understand why he thinks he can now fit the butchers in.
Well, the terror was.
I guess they agreed the terror. No, I think he's in the front.
He's just barely in the.
Was he up front to begin with? Okay.
Yeah, he's definitely in the front. It's just that I don't think he can actually complete that turn the way he's set up, because he can't pivot all the way around the building without touching either the unit or the building.
I think he's saying he's going forward like a half an inch or whatever that is, pivoting. and then clipping and then sliding over is what he's trying to do. There's no way he gets all three.
Right. I think he was trying to see what happens if he disengages with those scarecrows and sidesteps them.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. With that, maybe? I mean, that's not a legal disengage yet.
Right. He's got to get an inch away.
Right.
Right.
So I don't think
he's got characters behind him. So yeah, he'd have to. I don't know.
Well, he also has the butcher's.
That's a lot to bring in 9 attacks.
Right.
That's a lot to bring in 9 attacks, which would be mostly irrelevant.
Yeah, he can't disengage like that. He knows that, right? You gotta end an inch away.
Another issue he'll have now is the Soul Bane in the center not being charged by anything will have basically freedom to do whatever he wants to do next turn.
Yeah, he can start in the forest.
Yeah, the one who started in the forest.
Yeah. I mean, he'll have all the options.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Could get at the Mind Screeches in the back, potentially. I still think he wants it on the right just so he can use it for dread and chaff purposes.
Yeah. Still, man, I'm so impressed with that move on the left with the Spearman and the Butchers and the Crone. It's very nice.
Yeah. No, absolutely. I think that was the right call. It just took a second to see the extra drain life was the kicker.
And it was a really good drain life roll.
Yeah. Without it, I mean, it was still like a 5 or a 6 to kill, which isn't like terrible, but like that's still, just takes one bad roll.
Right. Yeah, and if he'd snaked that combat like that, that would kind of leave him in kind of a bad spot over there with how much he committed to it.
Yeah. I don't think snakes,
I don't know how Marc, there you go. It's like, I don't know how Marc's going to lose this left side at all. I think it's just a matter of time, how long it's going to take him to clean up all of those units, but he set up pretty damn solid to just take out a unit a turn. Those Reaper Soul Drinkers are not mighty to my recollection.
I'd have to check. I don't remember. I've only ever seen them used like once or twice.
It doesn't really matter.
Yeah, they're not.
Yeah, you can kill them with a Drain Life anyway. You straight up kill one with Drain Life.
Yeah, they're 10-12, so.
Oof.
Yeah.
But I mean, they're playing control. Reaper Soul Drinkers don't have any unit strength, and all he really has to do is kill enough stuff in that corner to beat him on unit strength.
That's what I'm saying is he doesn't have to like put a unit into them to take them off the table. Like he can literally just do it with superfluous shooting.
Sure.
I mean, I don't think he's going to have... He may lose one of his shooting elements here. In fact, I would expect him to lose one of his shooting elements here, so he'll only have the other drain.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. I think he's already pretty much tied. No, he has that corner already because he has a Butcher Regiment himself there. And the Tall Spears are unit strength 4, so yeah.
Yep.
Jeff, Living Legends is definitely going to take place, yeah?
So far, I mean, we're supposed to be hearing. We're supposed to be hearing.
Is very slow.
Oh, is it me?
I can hear you. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, I think
you just
my
have a still image of your face.
It's my internet connection.
Yeah, that's what happened last time. Is my camera just froze. I'm just gonna turn off my camera.
That's fine.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's still supposed to happen. It just depends on Texas's situation. As of right now, a couple of things will have to happen in order for it to still occur, but we're on track for this month. More stuff opening up, and bars are open back up, and everything like that. So it just comes out to them changing the numbers of how many people they want in the buildings. I mean, it's a private venue anyway. It's just they legally can only have so many people in a private venue for occupancy and stuff like that. So we're waiting to see a couple of things. Dan and John have been told that they're not going to be able to make it because the UK basically is not allowing anybody to come to the US, let alone Texas, which is a hot spot. So,
well, that was clear. I know Dan canceled, and I was thinking of just coming and hanging out with you guys. That's why I was asking.
I will absolutely
I'm coming to hang out.
Yeah, I will let everybody know 100% by the end of this month for sure. So before September happens. And the worst case scenario is I'm going to push it back, right? So Masters is no longer in February. So, that means I could probably hop into January or February pretty easily. So
that would be nice.
Yeah. So that's the worst case. I mean, I've already got 28 people signed and paid. So
yeah,
obviously we would love to have it, and I'd love to support the distillery it's at. So, they could obviously use the money right now. So.
Yeah.
So it looks like over here on the left, Adam Padley has sent his Butcher Regiment and his Scarecrow Regiment into the front of the spears, and then sent those 2 Soul Drinkers into the flank of Marc's Butcher Regiment.
Yeah. That'll hurt, but it's not going to even really run an option. I mean, he's going to have to roll out of the box to do anything relevant to them.
Yeah, I think the spears are definitely fine. If the fiends can blow through that crone and hit the front of the butchers, then
it might be enough to pick up the butchers.
Yeah.
Adam's going to use 3/4 of his clock just trying to do this fucking charge he's trying to do over here.
I still don't. Well, I mean, again, I don't think he can get that terror in there unless he backs up the butchers first.
I mean,
looks a little bit more open now, but
yeah.
I like that move of chaffing up the butchers with the shade, so that next turn he's gonna get a rear charge with the blue butchers on the right flank if they don't kill that unit. Which, what are the butchers gonna do to that shade? Let's see, shade 11, 13, defense 5.
They're not going to kill it.
Yeah, probably not. Although,
and this is why I don't like large infantry regiment chaff. Like, I get it. It's not bad by any means. Butcher regiments are one of the best chaff pieces in the game.
Yeah.
But I don't like profiles that can't get out of this spot, because the problem with it is he won't kill that character. Like, unless he literally rolls nothing but like hits and wounds, and even then I think it's still a good shot for the character to just be sitting there.
Question, could he just turn around?
Crushing 2.
Even with Crush 2, because he's only got 9 attacks. He just doesn't have the attacks to do it.
Yeah, and Mind Thirst has a 9-inch range, right? So that crone over there is inspiring the shade.
12.
12, okay, yeah, so definitely.
Oh yeah, he's definitely got inspiring. So I think, and the problem is the butchers now just sit there. They can't get out. He could withdraw, but he can't get out.
Yeah, but the shade's more points than they are, so the shade's not going to kill them in 2 turns either.
Right, but in this case, unless the impalers can get around those butchers, then the impalers are also just kind of chilling, which is good for him.
Yeah, that's fair. He can move through them, he just can't charge through them.
Right, and that keeps him out of that butcher horde.
I think Adam just shot all 3 of his lightning bolts at something.
I guess the fiends?
Yeah, I guess so. But wouldn't they have cover with the butchers and everything in front of them?
I would have tried to do it at the dancers.
Yeah, they should have all cover. Actually,
they may be discussing that.
The third one, maybe not, but
there we go. Yeah. Back it up there. 8 for the 5s. 5s to hit. Yep.
Yep.
And 7 wounds, right?
3 wounds.
Got 1 extra hit there. 8's not bad. And the extra benefit here, I think that's a waiver. Yep.
Yeah.
That
was
was
pretty big. That'll slow him up in the middle.
Yep. Oh what?
No.
Oh, dread from the
shade?
From the shade? Yeah.
24 lightning bolt can do that, yeah. against Fiends. Yeah.
That was good.
Yeah, Shade does have dread. Okay.
His 7 wounds on the first roll was kind of that was pretty good.
Yeah.
From 18 attacks on 5s, I mean,
that's insane.
I mean, Adam has a pretty big advantage here in that Marc has basically no inspiring for his entire army. Like, I mean, yes, he's got the crones, but they only inspire the butchers, and I guess the fiends, but the crones are way too far away right now to actually.
I think he put the regular inspiring item on one of them just to get generic inspiring.
Is it on the one on the right?
Yeah, it's on the one on the right.
Okay, well, at least that one's still in play and close to where the impalers are. Yeah. Oh, he whiffed it.
Only 1 inch. Oh, wow. Only 1 inch on the fiend board.
Yep.
So they will not be going into the butchers.
And that means these fiends down below will get a fresh charge. Probably with some help, because I don't think he picks up those butchers now.
Ooh,
yeah, so here's the soul drinkers in the flank.
Oof.
Yep.
Okay, that might do it.
8,
that's not
11.
even close.
Nope. Yeah, dash 14's tough.
All right, moving on to the units on the spearmen.
Are they 15?
Yeah, they're 15.
Yeah.
That's so freaking good.
They are very good thick chaff. Are we overusing that term?
No, never. Never.
So thick.
Never, huh?
Think it's appropriate.
It's all about the no chaff, man. Come on.
There's 15, which is not going to get the spears. Here's the horde of scarecrows on that soul thing.
6 wounds on the spearman. Oof.
Go with them. 6 and 9, that'll pick them up. So there goes I think that was the duelist Soulbane. Yep.
Yeah. But now I think the impalers and dancers jump on that and probably pick it up in one go.
Was that scarecrows? No, that was reapers, wasn't it?
No, those are scarecrows.
No, it's a scarecrow.
Holy shit, man.
He already had like 6 wounds on him, though.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, right. That's right.
Yeah.
So
losing the fiends, though, is huge in this turn for him, even though he still does have a lot of stuff to back it up, although it's only 235 points.
I mean, you say that, but I think the fact that these Pathfinder fiends from Adam the fact that the same units are on both sides of the table is the worst thing in the world for commentating.
Right?
Adam's fiends in the forest, only moving 1 inch forward, I think was actually a bigger deal than Marc losing his center fiends. Like, those center fiends died, which was unfortunate, but like they would have wavered most likely even without that. They would have
still got
out of
blade
return.
Dancers, which will probably go 16 inches on a charge. So
yeah,
and he'll get a double charge now with the butchers and the fiends into the fiends, right?
Yes, he absolutely should, and he should pick up those fiends. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, because then the
yeah, like he won't be hindered. He'll have dread from the
that's the other disadvantage. That 1 inch just took him barely out of the forest in the front, so he actually not going to.
No, that's what I mean. That critical piece, one of his only hammer units, is about to die.
Right, and those last couple dive rolls were the Shade trying to put some wounds on that butcher regiment and failing to do any wounds.
Although he still has 24 lightning bolt to rage for another 3 or 4 turns, right? Against
that's the issue.
Yeah.
The question is if only doing that 1 inch overrun. Yeah, that's what I was going to say right there from Marc. Yep, was the blade dancers can get in the flank from back there because they can get around those phantoms. That's literally what I was getting ready to say, and that's a Dunzo fiend unit right there, bro. I mean, that's dead.
Can he get past?
How many attacks?
With the 1 inch. Yeah,
oh,
I'm pretty sure he can.
Yeah, he totally has that flank. Oh shit.
Yeah, I was getting ready to say, and then he kind of pre-measured it there, and I was like, "Yep, he's gonna go for it."
I mean, I think he still puts the fiends in the front.
Sure, I mean,
because I don't think they have anything better to do.
And it positions him well.
Yeah.
Yeah, because then you're looking into your opponent's center where you want to end up for control.
Yeah, the real question is, can he see the phantoms? If he can't see the phantoms, then yeah, you just put him in there just for funzo.
Charge the flank there.
And phantoms are height 2 and the fiends are height 3, correct?
Yeah.
Right.
3 or 4.
I mean, he had line of sight for days there. That was never a problem.
Yeah, my question is if he could charge the Phantoms with those instead.
But
it's too late now.
It out.
Yeah, I don't think the Fiends had line of sight, if I had to guess.
Okay.
I would
I
guess
agree
Adam,
with that.
Adam positioned them such that they didn't have line of sight.
Yeah.
I would think.
You're going to do the Blade Dancers and the Phantoms?
Okay.
That feels like...
You're saying he's spreading himself out a little bit too much here?
No, that feels like maybe that he was told that he couldn't fit there. I'm like, but he can.
I'm pretty sure he can.
Yeah, he can 100% fit in there.
If he would have got a 2-inch overrun, I would say no. But
also, if that's the case, even if he can't fit the Blade Dancers, I definitely would have put the Regiment of Butchers in the front at that point because he needs those extra attacks if he can't get the Blade Dancers in.
Yeah.
Right.
Maybe throw the Soul
I don't know
Bane
what
in there.
I mean, maybe he's just worried about the Phantoms going over and rearing the spears, but they can still do that.
I think the spears pick up that Fiend regiment.
Fiends also are very efficient, right? Because they're wounding on 2s. So.
And I know it may look weird, but I think when Marc reforms those spearmen, he can put them in such a way that I don't think the Scarecrows will be able to get a charge, and he can actually turn and get the Phantoms in the face.
I'm sure he's thinking he'll get 10+ wounds on the Fiends, hoping for a waiver.
So kind of interesting point here. The Shade is not mighty, and since it did no wounds to those butchers, they can just charge right through it.
Oh,
yep.
Okay.
I knew that.
That's a thing.
Yep.
And we were wondering what he was going to do there.
And now if I'm Marc, I'm going to take the other Impalers, and I'm going to leave them just out of charge range for those brutes that are from the butchers that are at the top right. That way you just kind of boogie for a while with him, because that'll keep him playing off and keeping those guys over in that quadrant rather than sneaking them in for flanks later. I'm just going to sit there and hold them off. I'm not even going to try to engage.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I mean, maybe he measures you to see if the butchers will fit first.
Or if they're in range.
Yeah. I mean, if they are, I wouldn't do that.
No.
They weren't in range. They are now.
I don't think I'd do that.
They'll need to back up a couple of inches to get back out. I don't think reforming will do it.
Maybe he thinks he picks up the Shade. But
I
at
don't
defense
think he will.
5? Yeah, I don't think so. Even if he comes and drains the Shade.
Should do 6 wounds. 5 wounds.
Looks like we're on to shooting, so.
Yeah. Yep, 5 wounds. That's not going to do it.
Or maybe he's clarifying line of sight. Yeah. Yeah, I don't like the play with the Impalers, but everything else, I mean, I still think the Blade Dancers should have been in the flank of the Fiends, but.
Yeah, I agree.
Because I don't think this is a guaranteed kill on the Fiends.
Well, does he have to kill it guaranteed is the question also, because...
I mean, I guess a waiver...
he's going to put a lot of wounds on there.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, because it's a fresh charge.
Mm-hmm.
And it is only turn 3, so he's usually got another turn or so to grind through stuff and then get where he wants to be.
I would say provided he kills the Phantoms. Yeah, provided he kills the Phantoms, he doesn't have to, but...
Yeah.
You got to remember that
I'm sorry,
the reason why it matters, Rashad, is because those Mind Screeches are now going to... All 3 Mind Screeches are going to lightning bolt those Blade Dancers, and they're going to evaporate. Whereas if he would have gotten to the flank over there, he could have got into the forest and done his reform, and then those Mind Screeches shoot him on 5s instead of 4s. That's a big deal.
This is why you win tournaments.
Yeah.
And I only place under 20.
Marc won tournaments. Marc won Bug Eater.
Yeah.
With this list.
You're very right about that, but let's see what happens.
Ooh. Oh, that was elite. Okay. Jesus Christ.
And this unit has Hammer and Measure Force.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think he's got Inspiring,
10 and 11, yeah.
And that's why the Hammers go in there, is because you're just going to be consistent. Like, I get that there's times it's not going to do anything, and I get that there's people that are naysayers about it, but when you can put it in and know exactly what it's going to do every time. That's why I did like the woodland critters that had vicious with a hammer measured force.
Yep.
It's just like, okay, in the front they do 5, in the flank they do 10, in the rear they do 15. Okay, I know exactly how many I do every single time because they've got
This
vicious
shit
as
right
well.
here.
Yep, exactly.
Spearman now put the scarecrows into a hindered front is the funniest thing ever.
Yep.
There you go, the fiends into the fiends. So 9 hits, 10 wounds. Sorry, 9 wounds.
I was gonna say, how does he get 10 wounds with 9 hits? He's so good. See, that's why I wanted that blade dancer there.
Yeah.
Now they're not. I mean, countercharge is
They're
in theory
waver.
the same thing.
They can waver, but that's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's not even gonna waver them. So nope.
Oh, he picked
They're
up
gonna
the.
Oh, that was those guys. Got it.
Yeah.
He didn't even waver the fiends, though, right? No.
Nope.
No.
I would have much rather thrown the
Now
butchers over there.
Blade dancers are gonna get fucked by lightning, so that's not a good trade for him. You don't want to trade a 200 and change unit for a 140 point unit.
Yeah. I mean, I guess he had to do it to protect the fiends, but like at the same time, I mean, again, you could have kept the fiends protected by just having the butchers go in, and the fiends would have been fronting the phantoms.
And you'd add exactly, because then the fiends wouldn't be countercharging on this next go around and adding their attacks. I mean, you're better off just letting them have the flank. Go for it, dude. You know?
Yeah.
Charge the spears? Okay, cool. -1 to hit on top of that. So.
I mean, I guess maybe he's afraid of the scarecrows coming in the flank of the fiends, but it's like they're hindered coming off with hitting on 5s.
Yeah.
Like, woo.
Overruns a full 6 until he hits the flank of the fiends there.
I mean,
gross. That sucks. That's a horrible position to be in. I mean, that's gonna suck.
I guess it pins the
It's not gonna
fiends
matter.
there, kind of.
It's not gonna matter. They're gonna be dead. So.
Yeah.
The Impalers did not get a lot of hits on that shade.
Yeah. Oh, but they rolled really high. Waiver
Math
probably,
says-
but not a kill.
Math said they do 4 or 5 wounds total, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they did 4. Yeah.
So it evens out, yeah. It's a 13.
Oh, it was a kill, it looked like, and then now I guess it's nothing.
Yeah.
Womp,
Yeah,
womp.
not even a waiver. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know what he's thinking. I just think you want to keep them back in that situation and give the Mind Screeches options of things to shoot rather than your Blade Dancers. And I don't think you want to get in range of those butchers. I want to make them creep forward 2 inches and not just have all of the options in the world now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
It's 3 wounds from the Soulbane in the flank of the Scarecrow Horde in the middle. Now the Impaler's there.
oh yeah, make no mistake, he's gonna pick that up. That unit should be super dead. Because didn't he get a drain life in there too? Oh, he used the drain life on the Reapers. Got it.
Yeah. I don't know that he picks it up. I mean, I think he does a lot of damage to it. Oh!
Butchers and a 10 and a 6.
Looks like he got it to double 1s anyway. I guess the butchers carried it home.
Yeah, I mean,
Some good hits there. Yeah. 7
Matt
hits.
says he only. Matt
No
said
wounds
he
there.
would have only needed a 5 anyway, and he has dread there, takes it down to a 4, and if he rolls just a little over average, gets into snakes. So
Right.
Did he roll with hindered on the Impalers? I didn't catch that.
I
I'm
couldn't
not
tell.
positive.
15. Yeah, no, he did. Just frickin' hit a billion times on 4s.
Elite baby.
Yeah.
Yeah, 9 hits on 4s. Another one. Another one
Yeah.
from Elite converted. And then they're vicious, so he wounded basically with everything that hit, right?
I mean,
Yeah.
even with losing the Blade Dancers here, as long as the Fiends don't kill, as long as Adam's Fiends don't kill Marc's Fiends, then I think Adam's still in a good position to wrap up the left-hand side I mean, he's got like 6 units to Adam's 2.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like, it's only a matter of time. I mean, Adam's
And
picking
he
up
picks
those.
up the fucking Scarecrow Regiment too. Jesus.
Yeah. And now he's got him in a position where if I would back that up, I wouldn't pivot back. If he backs it up, he can get that terror back into the front.
Yeah, and keep the other butchers in the front.
Right. Well, he can force the butchers into having to go further out, and then giving Marc's butchers a flank. So you back that up.
Alternatively, just say screw it and give the butchers a flank. Yeah. Well, see, I don't like that.
Yeah, I don't like that either.
I don't like just chilling.
Yeah. See, this is the problem with that move for that shade, is now he's giving up unit strength instead of being able to be a threat for longer.
Yeah. And more importantly, it brought the butchers back into the game, because now they'll pick up the impalers and turn around.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Where instead they would have had to walk forward and then take a charge and then still possibly not even been around the building yet.
I mean, do you even turn around, or you just keep going forward so you can take Mark's center
side?
Objective?
Yeah,
right.
Because Mark doesn't have the shooting to pick him up.
Yep. That's the problem. That's why I was like earlier, I just back him up and keep back, and just keep the unit strength over there and force him to come after something. Because now pretty much he's just said, all right.
I mean,
Mind Screeches, and you got to remember that turn 6 or 7 Mind Screech Wind Blasts, it can be pretty nasty, and he's got nothing to threaten him still.
He's got a Soulbane.
Yeah, a Soulbane.
Yeah,
a Soulbane.
I mean, what I can say, so this is the reason why he didn't move the butchers, if anything, is because now he can't get to the caster with that butcher regiment, which I kind of saw as an option. It was just, I think he still could have pivoted it and still kept the caster safe. Yeah, see, he's trying for it.
Yeah.
I think he still has to turn the horde of butchers around, though. I don't think he can claim the center side of the table and it's like, woo, but like if everything else is dead, then Mark's just going to have the center, the upper right, the bottom right most likely. Or sorry, upper left, bottom left.
Yeah, I was going to say, he won't have the right.
No, he won't get to the right in time.
Yeah, Terror will pick up those butchers. His butchers will not kill Mark's butchers.
Yeah.
Then he'll get a counter charge and a drain life. The issue is now he's got nothing to do with that Terror, and that Terror is just going to claim that corner all by himself with 1 unit strength, which is so aggravating.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then, keep in mind, Adam can fly 12 inches with those Mind Screeches if he doesn't want to attack for a turn, get him into the quadrants that he needs him in.
Yep. So who's his target with the Mind Screeches this turn? Is he going to go after the Impalers or the Dancers?
No, Dancers. He's gonna kill the Dancers. The Impalers are gonna come in with the Butchers next go around is the plan. If he has line of sight, I suppose.
Yeah.
But
I think he can pick up the Impalers at his leisure, because it's going to take a turn to get through the Butcher Regiment.
Yeah, plus that if he shoots at the Impalers, it's a waste, because the Terror's got nothing else to do. He may as well go kill some Impalers next turn. So
yeah,
and then back up afterwards.
So this is funny. So I like what Adam's trying to do here, which he's trying to position the Mind Screeches in such a way that the Soulbane can't get any legal charge onto them. But if he picks up that Butcher Regiment with his Terror, he's going to straight back open it right back up.
Yep.
Like, you'd have to overrun all 6 inches.
Uh-huh.
Yep. Yeah, but it's the way he's got those Mind Screeches all pivoted. He's looking at those Blade Dancers. He's just going to shoot right over and pick them up. But he's at least made it so that they're covered shots on the Blade Dancers. Yeah. So I don't know if I'd have done that. I'd probably just tried to shoot over the Impalers and just let the Soulbane have a charge, because he's still not going to kill one of those Mind Screeches, the Soulbane, in one go. It's just not going to happen.
Yeah.
So I don't know why he's
I don't
so
think
worried about
defending
the front with it.
Yeah. It does seem a little excessive.
Yep. Over here on the other side, it looks like
I guess he's shooting the Impalers.
Yep.
All 18. I don't agree with that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't get that either.
The Impalers have Inspiring. Like, there's every reason not to shoot the Impalers.
Sure. Looks like he
Well,
baits
plus,
in at
what
the
else
terror.
are you gonna do with that terror? What do you need bait
I guess
on the
maybe
terror
he
for?
thinks he can pick up the Dancers later, but the Dancers can just turn and run into the bottom left corner if he just needs to claim a spot.
Yep. And over here on the left, he didn't take the Scarecrows into the Spears. He went into the flank of the Butchers, hindered instead.
Yeah. Oh, he would have been hindered into the front of the Spears, so it was never going to pick up that unit either.
Right.
Yeah. He's on the
might
fence,
pick up the
so it
Butchers,
was hindered regardless, yeah.
Yeah. Flanking the Butchers, I think, is the right call there.
Yeah. So
Try to pick up that unit.
I think that roll of an 8 was nerve on the Impalers that he forgot to do at the end of shooting. But now on to combat. Looks like he's trying to decide where to start. All right, starting with the Butcher Regiment on the Butcher Regiment.
He gets 1. 1. Can't even do anything.
Slap fight.
Pillow fight.
Yeah.
Oof.
13 hits from the Terror.
Only 6 wounds, though. But still enough, looks like. Just barely, though.
Yeah.
The 3 would have kept him there, I think. But yeah, here we go. Now he's got to move it forward if he wants to keep things blocked.
Yep. I don't know that he's gonna see it.
It doesn't look like he did.
It's always one of the, like I don't like the format on this. Like I just don't like playing on the online portion of it or whatever. Just
because it's hard to see.
It's so distracting to me because I can't tell actual ranges. That's why I don't do it.
Yeah.
But I just sitting across the table from people when you're doing this in like real life. It's just like, oh, dude, I love that yeah, I totally agree. That's how that works. And then they remove the unit that they don't. I agreed when that unit was there, absolutely. But the little stuff like that.
Yeah,
I mean,
see, that did not have to happen.
No,
And that's where, again, he should turn.
You just
the
hand him a
Butchers.
unit for no reason. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. And now that's a scoring unit behind Mark's army that Adam can send wherever he wants. And Mark's moved his entire army onto Adam's side of the table, so he's.
This was
that's
the right
play there.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do that, and then it gives you options. You can either back up and stay in the other quadrant, or you can charge something next turn.
Yep. Though I think it gives the Impalers a charge.
Yeah, but who cares? I mean, you're going to charge with the Impalers, you're not going to do shit, and then the Terror's going to eat your lunch.
Flank you, yeah. Yep. All right, looks like he's moving on to the Fiend on Fiend violence over here on the left side.
He did equally as bad as Mark did, but it looks like he actually rolled better. That's probably a waiver.
8 and 7, 15?
15. Maybe not. I think they're 16, 18.
I think they're 15, 18, or 15, 17.
They are 16, 18.
16,
Yep.
18.
He missed it by 1.
And there's the Scarecrows in the flank of the Butchers.
Woo, 6 hits.
On what, 6s? Yeah, because they're hindered. 2 wounds?
Sure.
So now with those Blade Dancers, this next turn, that's why I was saying they shouldn't have shot the Impalers. Impalers are going to go do what they want to do anyway, but those Blade Dancers can be able to turn around this next turn and get set up to do some serious damage if that Terror does come into the flank on the Impalers. If Mark takes that charge, I guess.
I mean, I think he throws the Butchers and Impalers into the other Butchers. Or to the regiment of Adam's Butchers.
Right.
Just to try to pick that up.
Moving on to
and
the
with
top
the
of
dread.
24.
Chop apple.
So Mark, of course, taking the rear charge with the spear horde on the scarecrow regiment.
Well, I guess he can just turn him around after picking up the fiends anyway.
Right.
I just guarantees it.
What do you guys think now in hindsight of like the blade dancers charging the phantoms instead of the fiends?
I mean, I think he lucked out because Adam didn't shoot him.
Yeah.
No, but I'm saying
lucky,
I would have liked to see, and personally, I would have liked to see that unit of fiends already have been disappeared. Like that would have been nice and not have the 7 wounds on it.
Oh yeah, he'd already have threat for the right side of the board ready to go. Those blade dancers would be charging this turn.
Yeah.
And so we're like in agreement that would have probably been the better choice. Although then there still would be the phantoms on the table, right? And what would they do right now? So
I mean, they're fighting the front of a spear unit. Oh no.
Yeah.
Did he? I think he may have just checked those impalers in the middle and may have seen that by missing his own butchers, he can't also miss the shade and hit the front of the butchers.
Oh, the other butchers.
Matter. It doesn't matter because the shade is not mighty. He can touch the unit and then slide to not be touching, right? Or to not land on it as long as he clears it.
I think he can't land on it when he makes that initial connection still has to be clear, I think.
Okay, the corner doesn't touch the butchers first is what I was asking. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I guess he's just turning, which I don't know about that.
There you go. There you go. He's going to try and force that, and then he can go around him. I don't know. I can't tell.
I mean, if the blade dancers pick up the fiends, which they should, there's no inspiring on the left side of the table either anymore, so...
I think that's it for his movement. I think he's going on to drain life.
Yeah.
What is that? Not shade. It's the other one with the boomstick.
2 wounds. Probably heal the impalers here. Yeah.
Yep. With the horror.
Oof. I'll get that out now.
Sure. No real harm there. All right, moving on to combat. Yeah, don't have to spend a whole lot of time moving things. But pretty much everything is engaged. I think this is a Soul Bane on that shade. Only getting 2 hits.
Yeah, he's got Dread in there now, though, and he already had 4 wounds on him, so...
Puts him up to 6. Can't tell if he's picked him up or not. I don't think he... Yeah, wavered. There we go.
Yeah.
That's still pretty good. I mean, he wasn't going to stop the terror coming in if the terror wanted to come in, but if the terror comes in and doesn't pick up the Soulbane, which he should, but
he's also committing that out of the quadrant to go after an individual that, who cares?
Doesn't score, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And if the Blade Dancers turn around, then he probably gets both the Impalers and the Blade Dancers into the terror, and I think even with Ensnare, that's at that point death.
Yeah. 20 attacks, even on 4s with Elite, is going to be nasty.
I'll be 35 with the Impalers.
Right. Yeah, with Impalers, yeah. Yeah, I mean, and keep in mind, he'll be freeing up that spear unit this turn. He could go through both of those Reaper Soul Drinkers. Could. I'm not saying he will, but...
Can the horde of butchers get a charge on Marc's regiment of butchers? On the flank? Do you think? Don't think he can pivot past.
I don't think you'd want to take that charge anyway, but... Hitting on 5s. I mean,
oh yeah, that's fair. You'd have to cross the terrain anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So over here we got the Butcher Regiment beating up on those, what are they called, Soul Drinkers?
Yep.
Oh, we're running to the other Soul Drinker, okay. We managed
See,
to get
told
it
you.
with,
I was like
2 wounds. He did 2 wounds and then rolled a 7.
That's what I said. All he's got to do is 2 to 3 wounds, and he can kill both of them in one go. 2 again.
Nice.
See if he can pick it up. 9, 10, 11. That's a waiver.
Yeah.
Might
He's
just
going to
see
make him... I mean, I guess it's
8 elite rolls. 28 wounds. 3.
Taunting.
So close. That would have been a hilarious spot for a double one. Yeah, really.
So if I'm Mark, I'm going to try and back up a D3. He's going to pivot. I would have tried to back up. Fine. Yeah, but I would try to back up. Worst case scenario, you stay in both quadrants, right? And you can choose where you want to be next turn. But anything gets in range, add some TC to it. Worst case, something sticks around over there. But I think I would have just backed up. Because he's not going to get into... I want to keep them out of the lightning bolt spam.
So Elliot in chat is saying that the Blade Dancers should not have been shot because there's a chance to waver the Impalers. And I'm going to take a minute to say that no, because the Impalers still, no matter what, weren't going anywhere. But the Blade Dancers, like, once they're in somewhere, they're starting to pay for themselves. The Impalers are not nearly as threatening in the long run.
And the other point is, all he had, that Shade could have jumped into the Blade Dancers to finish him off with his couple of attacks. Even if you don't kill them, that Shade could literally kill the Blade Dancers in one go if they would have done all those. Because you're talking about 5s from cover and then wounding on 2s, as opposed to 5s from cover and wounding on 4s. I just disagree.
And now the Blade Dancers, you're going to get 1 round of shooting instead of 2 rounds of shooting. Like, before, you were guaranteed 2 rounds of shooting. They would have been gone. Now it's only 1. They'll probably get somewhere first.
Yep. So we moonwalk our Shade out of the way so the Butchers
can come in.
Come in on the Soul Bait. Maybe? Maybe not. Should work.
He's just got to back up. He still has... Well, he doesn't have Nibble because he gets his Nibble from Fly, so he's just backing up.
He's an individual. Doesn't he still get 1 free?
Yeah. I'm just saying he doesn't...
Which I think is why he turned and then withdrew.
Right. Yeah. And then back up. Yep.
And then backed up. Yeah.
He technically doesn't even have to withdraw. He could just turn and back up.
Is he going to go to the flank? Wow, I would not do that at all.
Yeah.
Wow. That's just a way different... I mean, it's just a different play style, I guess. But, like, there's no way I would have taken that shit.
I guess maybe he thinks he'll shoot the Impalers or the Dancers off this turn?
Sure. It worked so great with cover last time. Let's try it again.
Yeah.
That's just... I just don't...
One thing... One issue that we're running into at some point, though, is those 3 Mind Screeches of scoring units and their Fly and Nimble, right?
Right. Yeah, I get that. But that's my point, is Mark hasn't really been threatening those. And I don't think that you should have done that with that Soul Blade that he ran down there. You know, I get what he was trying to do, but meh. It would have been better disordering a Mind Screech.
The Butchers could have been scoring somewhere else, right? Is the point. He kind of like put him in danger now, sort of.
Yep. But if that Soul Blade would have gone around, I don't know that Mark saw it, but like me and Matt were talking about, if he would have taken that Soul Blade, popped it in one of the front of those Mind Screeches, which he absolutely had the charge afterwards because of what we were talking about, he could have gone around him and then hit him in the front still. That would have dropped Dread over in that entire area as well as disordering that Mind Screech, and that Butcher regiment that Mark's fighting right there could be wavered right now. Or not wavered, but could have been dead. But with different roles, obviously. But
yeah. Butchers have 1 wound on him.
Yep.
We're looking at what? It's going to be 9 from the front on 4s and 3s. So we're looking at what? 2 or 3 wounds there, and then hindered 36. I mean, I think he still picks it up. But he just brings everything into range of the Fiends and the Dancers now. And I don't think he can pivot out of it.
And yeah, that's the thing, is those Blade Dancers, the reason why he needed to shoot him last turn is because they're going to pick their target and it's going to die.
Yeah. If anything, this is the turn to try and shoot the Impalers only because now the waiver would actually be important.
Right.
Okay, you can't come with it. Well, okay, I guess she's not mighty.
Well, it
They can
doesn't
enjoy
matter.
it.
Yeah.
And they're flying, so they can do whatever they want. They just
Oh,
gotta
okay.
land. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, mine's creatures fly.
They just get all the rules.
Yeah, why not?
Regen and snare.
Looks like he's
They
ready
don't
to
have
start
regen.
shooting.
Oh, they don't have regen?
No, you're thinking
Oh, that's
about
the planetary. Yeah.
Yeah, planar apps. I know they all have these stupid weird ass names.
Again, they throw darts at a dartboard
Mm-hmm.
for things that sound spooky.
Yeah, just put a bunch of goth words up on a dartboard and chuck darts at them. There.
Yep.
The butchers might be able to. Oh, I guess he's trying to. That should be cover. Because it should be in the flank. If he's going to shoot the impalers.
Yeah, that should be covered.
This is bottom of 4, right?
This is bottom of 4, yeah.
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 I'd actually consider shooting the butchers on the left just to try to pick up a unit. Or the fiends. Because we're starting to get into that point where unit strength is going to matter here.
That's actually why I would be trying to hide those fiends that Mark has right there, but it looks like he's going to go the avenue of
Murder everything.
Pushing the butchers up to the top left.
Yeah.
And he'll probably end up claiming the bottom left with the spears. Unless he needs to move at the double to get to the forest towards the middle. I mean, this turn's going to change a lot of stuff, so...
Just a slight delay here. They might have to exit and rejoin the game, as happens sometimes with UB. I think they should be good to go here. This should be all the lightning with cover.
Yeah.
5. Oh.
7 total.
Yeah. I don't think
Still not enough.
8, 17, 15. That's a waiver,
That's a
though.
waiver.
Yeah,
Yep.
that was important.
Yep.
I think he can still back them up enough to get the dancers or the fiends into a unit of choice, though.
Oh, yeah, for sure. He's got an angle on the dancers, too, so...
Yeah.
This is really not huge.
Yeah. So moving on to combat, looks like he's doing the Butcher Regiment. On the Butcher Regiment.
Although the 7 wounds on the fiends might now be very detrimental in like late game, but
18, 14. Yep, that'll do it.
15 to break on them.
Yeah.
Yeah, they gotta... Okay, I got you. That'll do it.
Okay, buddy.
We're doing
Gonna back up
sidestepping.
2.
No,
Sidestep first.
Sidestep
Okay.
the regiment, yeah, first, so then he can just turn those guys.
I mean, he may have just given a charge to the blade dancers, but I don't know if they'd be enough to pick up the regiment.
They have Pathfinder, so they're not going to get hindered by the forest.
So, what is it, 24 on 3s and 5s?
25 on 3s. With the elite.
25. Yeah. With
Yeah,
the
they
drain
already-
life and the dread.
Yeah.
Well, he can't get dread in there. He might be able to maneuver his soulbane close enough, but I mean, he could drain life too, so I think he can pick that up too if he wants. He's just got to figure out a way to get the impalers out of the way so he can get the fiends in, potentially. Or just pivot him anyway.
More now, he could make the blade dancers not be able to charge because the impalers wouldn't be able to move out of the way.
Well, he can't charge the horde, but he could definitely pick up the regiment.
Yeah. He'll be able to charge one of them depending on how he'll be able to move the impalers out of the way. But right now, I think he could move them in a way where
Red.
he would still get a charge into the front of the horde, possibly.
Mm-hmm.
If he goes backwards, what is their move? 6, so 3? You should probably
Looks
be
like
able
he
to
managed to waiver that Soulbane down there because of dread from the shade.
Yeah.
Yeah, if the impalers go back 3 inches, he should have that charge into the front of those butchers, I think. The wayward ones.
Yep. So the Butcher Regiment over there on the left goes into...
Yeah, just make sure that goes away.
Yeah, the wavered one. I guess it's the only one left now.
Yeah. He's just trying to keep it out of lightning bolt visualization too. So.
Yeah, that's maybe even the better choice because.
So the only danger with this is that now he's going to get all the uncovered lightning bolt, and even if he can prevent the charge from the butchers on the blade dancers, he should pick it up with just the lightning bolt.
18 is 9 hits. 6
well, it's
wounds,
more than 18,
wounds.
isn't it? It's 24.
No.
So
there's 6 each.
Right, but he also has this boomstick
the horror
caster.
Boomstick. Yeah.
Oh, right.
The amount of shooting he's facing, I think he has to play aggressive right there, and he already has 7 wounds on the fiends, right? Which I'm not sure if he has anything that he can drain life anytime soon, but he probably be able to get a little bit of it off. I think he's going to push the spearman into the center instead of like trying to claim the bottom. Although he also has that choice all the way up till turn 6 or 7, right? To
trying to see if he can.
Yeah, because they're in a really good place. But I don't know if I disliked how Adam pushed back into his own center, because depending on how well he's shooting right now, he's got a good, amount of bodies to defend. But let's see.
No, I see what he's going to do there.
That will still make contact. The dancers will still make contact with the corner of the Butcher Regiment up there.
So they were trying to figure, if he can fit the fiends in here, which it looks like he can.
Yeah.
This is risky, though, because the issue is if he doesn't pick up the Horde of Butchers, then the fiends die.
Yeah.
And they may still die just to the Terror, if the Terror just wants to back up, pivot, and come in anyway. Not sure I agree with this. But I also don't know what other choices Marc has right now. Because he's kind of committed to the shoving in the face. So
let's see what happens, and if he picks up that regiment. One thing I like about this move is that he's saying I have a lot of wounds on that Impaler's regiment that's right in the dead center right now, that whole thing.
Yeah.
And he's trying to make him shoot him again.
Adam will have to decide what he's going to shoot next turn, and he doesn't have a lot of wounds on him, and he needs to attack, he needs to go forward, and I kind of like what he's doing.
Well, he can get Dread onto... I think he was trying to see if he could get Dread onto the regiment as well. But I don't think he can.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
Yeah. But he can definitely stop the Terror from charging.
Yeah.
And the Soulbane is going also into the Butchers, hopefully, no?
The Soulbane's wavered.
Oh.
Yeah.
Never mind. So here's the problem. You're totally right. He's probably not gonna kill the Butchers. The Butchers are gonna flank him.
Well, if he drains plus Dread, so the Butchers are now at -17 because of Dread, and then he's going to drain.
Where's he going to drain?
The drain could heal the fiends. He's got drain hiding right there.
6.
Oh, okay, okay, that is his.
So he'll swing like 2 wounds to the fiends.
Yeah, and then that may be enough. It's still going to be close. I presume he pops J-Boots this turn.
He does.
Boots on fiends. Yeah. I'm not watching their chat. Getting to the tomato part of the Bloody Mary.
Both guys still have more than 20 minutes left on
Marc's got to get that horde of spears straddling the scoring zone right there so that he can make that call when it comes down to that time.
Yeah. I mean, I think this gives him...
to where it's literally in 4 quadrants.
Yeah, you could just park it right on that tombstone, which I guess is marking the quadrants.
Yep. Put it in the middle and then choose it at the last part and pray to God you don't get wind blasted out of the one you want to be in. So.
Yeah, Marc went first too, so it's the one time you want to go second is when you got that wind blast.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and kills me that Adam doesn't have any Banshees. Like, that's the whole reason you play Night Stalkers. Banshees are dope. So good.
10 hits. 6 wounds. Oof. Yeah, I don't like that. I think that's not enough. 5. Nope. And that's the problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why it's really bad to do those type charges when you take that risk.
Only 6 wounds there, so he needs a 6 once, twice. Oh, thank God he picked up the regiment.
Just barely.
Yeah. But I
Just
mean, I
barely.
still think he's in trouble now because there's just so much lightning bolt that's going to hit him. And
Yeah.
the butchers will kill the fiends.
Right, so he doesn't have to worry about picking targets. He knows exactly who he's got to shoot.
And he doesn't have to kill the impalers this turn because
Right.
worst case scenario, he picks up the butchers and then he just lightning bolts them off, and then he's got all 4 quarters on the right-hand side.
Yeah, and that terror's not going anywhere. 0 wounds on it.
Yeah, no,
With
absolutely
nothing to kill it. So
I think that's a snake eyes on that individual over on the left side that the butcher regiments were attacking, so it'll hang around for another turn.
lame.
I mean, that's actually really good for Adam because if he gets a lucky countercharge and picks up the butchers, that's 1 less quarter for Marc.
Yeah, because we're getting down to the point where unit strength doesn't matter as much as how many scoring units you have left.
Right. Like at this point,
Shit,
Marc
man.
can score a total of 5 quarters, and Adam can score a total of 5 quarters, and that's it.
Yeah, honestly, at that point, I just leave those butchers alone. I'd back him up, pivot him so he could see the back of those spearmen, and then I would just go start attacking them. And I'm like, what are you going to do? Turn around and fight me? You're not going to. Like, just keep on going at him, poke him, get a little life leech.
5 attacks. Does he crush 1 or 2?
I think he's 1, but life leech 2.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I guess at that point, I think you're right. Because if it was 2, I think he could pick up the butchers, and that achieves the same objective. The spearmen have to stay there if they want to keep that quarter.
Right.
But with only crush 1, I don't think he picks up the butchers. So at that point, poking the spearmen forces them to turn around if they want to do anything.
Yeah, it's like, you're going to turn around and fight me? You should totally do that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
He sent the butchers into the impalers instead of the fiends?
Yeah, because the fiends are going to get hit by the terror here.
I see.
Yeah.
Which is the one thing I didn't like about the positioning, because I think he could have kept the terror out.
Yeah.
He had finagled a little bit.
The terror has like a over 75% chance of mopping up those fiends this go. So
right, and he doesn't even have to kill them. He just needs to waver them. Because they're 16, 18, and then -1, so they're 15, 17, and then they've got 6 wounds already. Like, it's already not great.
Do you guys think the Soul Drinker is going to pick up the butchers?
No.
No? It's too much?
No, just fine. No.
I mean, if he does, I don't think there's a bad chance of picking up the butchers. I think it's about the same either way. So, I think he should get
I would go after those spears because it's super fucking annoying when individuals charge the rear or something, and then they get like, "What are you gonna do? You gonna turn around? You gonna turn around? You should do it. Go ahead."
Yeah.
I mean, it holds the spears there where they don't want to be, because they would rather pivot and go towards the middle so they can start straddling areas. But if you got to deal with an individual,
the fact that Marc has never successfully got anything back to start beating up those mind screeches is going to really come back to haunt him here in the last couple of turns.
Yep.
Here it comes. I guess he gets covered shots for 2 of them.
Ooh.
5. Oof. He's got inspiring. That helps. I think he's good.
Answers are fearless, aren't they?
Yep. Should be.
Yeah. They are -16.
Well, that helps. I mean, that picks up the butchers, but I think he
should lose the impalers here. Should.
Yeah, that's the trick.
So I think that was
I just think Marc's going to run out of scoring units.
Yeah, I think that was one off of picking up the dancers.
Yeah. They are very oof.
Yeah.
Wow.
All right.
He did 3 wounds with that guy.
Yeah. That'll do it.
And then roll to 10. Yeah. Just roll high for nerve. That's all you gotta do.
Jeez.
Yeah, I think Mark's gonna run out of scoring units. Is what's gonna end the game here, or he'll have this. I mean, the spearmen aren't going anywhere, but like that's 1 point.
So I don't know how you guys have managed to have both of the first 2 matches here turn in like turn 5, the complete opposite direction, but it's making for some really compelling games to watch. So I'd like to thank both clubs for secretly arranging that, however you've done it.
I felt that Soul Drinker combat with the butchers, I wrote it down early and I was like, that's a really cool combat because I wonder what's going to happen in the end. If it's like a little bit iffy, you might win it because it's going to screw Mark over quite a bit if that happens, and it just happened. That's huge. But it was an interesting combat to see just like 2 little characters into like that regiment that's basically, you know, the thick chaff, we call it all sorts of things, and we thought it was going to go the other way because I thought too it was going to go the other way, but it didn't.
Yeah, those come down to rolls, but like the reason why the Reaper guy going back in there, why I was saying was like, well, you know, Adam's got to take those mind screeches to go into those other quadrants anyway, so I thought it was like kind of waste of attacks because he can just move that one at the top next turn. Oof. 6 inches, lightning bolt anyway, you know. Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, he only needed to waver them anyway.
And again, none of that would have happened if you just leave the Impalers back and play chicken. You know what I'm saying? From the early commitment to go after a shade for no real good reason. So.
Yeah, sorry, Elliot.
I feel we haven't been biased. I've been giving Mark some shit.
Oh, yeah.
Gave a completely unnecessary charge with his Impalers. Took some questionable charges in other places.
None of you guys have threatened to throw Mark out of the club yet, which did happen in the first game.
Oh, did they?
So, when you're facing 4 sources of Lightning Bolt 6,
yeah,
you need to start killing one by turn 3. You want to have killed one because otherwise it's just like a rain of.
Well, it's
arrows.
not even the lightning bolt, right? It's just that it's 3 scoring units.
On top
That's
of it.
Yeah.
Nimble flying scoring units, which is nice. But you have to calculate that like before, right? So and he brought the 2 characters that could deal with it. He just never got to actually do it. They got wavered, right?
Yeah.
And then he used them to hold up like scarecrows in the middle.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Like I just don't know. I don't see a way out for Mark at this point. Like maybe he gets super lucky and on a turn 7 drain lives 2 of the freaking.
He cheats and drain lives 2 units off the table in 1 turn.
Mind Screech. Well, he gets this turn of shooting and potentially turn 7 of shooting, right? So the Blade Dancers get double 1 twice. They kill the Butchers and the Terror in combat, and then he manages to drain life both 2 Mind Screeches off the table in 1 turn.
Yep.
That's how Mark wins this at this point. I don't think he can pull it back.
I think he just drain life the boomstick character instead of
Why?
Trying to kill a Mind Screech. He needs to kill the
I get it, but you have to kill. Yeah, you have to kill the Mind Screeches. They're the scoring units. I mean, like I get the other one had wounds on it, but you got to at least try waver the guy and keep it in that quadrant.
Yeah.
Not moving across the table.
I mean, bringing the Spearman up here is good. That puts him so where he can try and walk into the center top. But, I mean, all Adam has to do is back his Terror up, and he's in the center bottom of Mark's side, so that's going to even out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like he'll have both on the right side.
Right. Yeah. All Adam has to do is fly the 2 Night Screeches into the upper right and bottom right. And he's got it, because he's not picking up the Terror.
No.
Like, I guess the other thing the Spearman could try and do is take the bottom quarter, if they can sneak into it, And then
Nah, because you need him to take the top middle to guarantee he gets the bonus points there, and then.
Well, yeah, because Adam has the bottom, so Adam could just walk back to the top, and then he's evening that out again.
Yes, but if the Blade Dancers live through this 11D lightning bolt right now, then they can charge that bottom middle at that. Even if they don't kill the terror, fuck it, who cares? Like they have the quadrant.
Well, I mean, Adam's bottom of the play, so Adam will pick him back up on the counter. Yeah. You're thinking with that Wind Blast mind, Jeff. You're playing second.
I know, right?
Well, maybe now that actually even late game that Wind Blast will come into play, but
I don't think it matters. I think it just lightning bolts stuff off the table.
Probably.
He doesn't need. There's nothing to Wind Blast. There.
Yeah. Right. I mean, exactly in this situation, like he doesn't have to engage the Blade Dancers at all. You can just shoot him.
Yep. Zero Wind Blast used the whole game.
He's got 3/4 now, and if he picks up the Blade Dancers, he's got 4 to Mark's 1. Technically 5 from the bonus point. Assuming the book scenario gives a bonus point for the center opposite.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we just need to see some snakes come out here, and then the end of the game, and then it ends up a tie? No, Elliot still wins by 1.
Yeah, I was going to say he has the bottom center to the top center, so that evens out, and then he's got 2 on the right to 1.
Adam.
And he's not going to get the double ones.
Yeah.
Well, or he could just whiff all his lightning bolts. No, there we go.
I see Adam winning this no matter what's going to happen.
He's on a 3 instead of a double ones. Or 4, technically, so twice. Yep. I don't think that changes anything.
No, yeah, I mean, it was just if he's going to win it by 1 point or if he's going to win it by 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, that's game right there. No 7.
Well played. Well played.
Yeah, that is going to be very solid. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to 1.
Yep.
All right, so let's have these guys come on back. Send them the studio link again because they probably have to scroll back up through some chats to find it. Turn that on.
Hey there.
What's up?
Hey, Marc.
Moment 2. Jeff still just a potato. He dropped a long time ago.
I'm here, but I don't know why my camera keeps freezing, so I just turned it off. So what's the point?
That's fair.
Looking at a squinty ass picture of me for like 20 minutes. So
there was already too much handsome visage.
Right.
Entirely
for Jeff's
fair.
face to handle.
It was a pretty tight game till the end there. I mean, I thought for sure you were gonna have I mean, that early part was looking pretty strong for you, but
if he didn't wipe all 4 units on turn 5, then it was still pretty
right.
Still feel pretty good about it. But
Yeah.
one of them probably shouldn't have stayed. But also, I probably realized after a past turn that my whole plan of moving the Soulbane back was to try to get Dread on the Butcher Regiment, and when that failed, I forgot to move it back in front of the Terror.
Yeah.
Until I passed turn, I was like, shit.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
We were also commenting on the right-hand side, you had the Impaler Regiment that got charged by the Butcher Horde originally. and then that allowed him to kind of get back in the game. Whereas if you had just backed up, it would have taken him an
I
extra
would just play
turn.
chicken the whole time and not have gone after that shade at all.
Yeah.
I mean, I figured it's only 11-13. I probably do. It's crush 2, so like
5 wounds.
I do 12 hits. I do 6 wounds. Not unlikely. It wasn't inspired at that point. I probably break it. It's not unlikely that I break it, and then I just needed a 2 on the sidestep to get out of the 12, which is still a risk, granted.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
I was like, this is good enough odds that if I can kill that shade, that gets rid of his dread, gets rid of an annoying flying hero.
There it is.
Sorry about that.
It didn't want
back.
that. Don't know why.
Yeah, it just sucked that you could never get anything that could threaten any of the mind screeches. So you had to put those soul blanes for other stuff. On turn 4, I was like, well, Adam's gonna get at least 2 quadrants that you're not gonna be able to do anything about. So.
Right. I mean, more than the lightning bolt, which not to ignore that because it was very relevant, but more than that he had 3 flyers in the bottom of turn 6 that can go wherever the hell they needed to go.
Yeah.
And wind blast. Yep. If he had to, worst case.
Yeah.
So, Mark, I had a question for you early on.
Yes.
So turn 3 is when it got interesting in the center, I felt. And you charging the blade dancers into... First of all, before I even get into that move early on with the spearman and you moving your character to make that charge basically like both in the front was very nice. And I was actually thinking that you would probably not kill it, but then with the drain life, you did it quite easily, and that was very nice to watch. Like I really enjoyed that.
Drain life tips pretty much all
really
combats
nice.
over from a iffy to a guaranteed.
But my first question was, we were looking and Jeff pointed that out early. He was saying, you charging the blade dancers into the phantoms in the center instead of the fiends, top of 3. Like, what did you think about that? That set up quite a lot of things of the game later on.
It did, yeah. So honestly, it's because I figured that the fiends in the front, 24 attacks on 4s, vicious 3s. They should probably do about 8 dreads in play, so 9. I should probably waiver them. Versus getting the phantoms gone kills them.
Dead or nothing, Mark.
Nah, I agree with his decision. Actually, it was definitely the right call to kill the phantoms. If you leave the phantoms alive, that's a guaranteed quadrant you are not getting, and scenario is greater than kill.
And honestly, I did not want to move the blade dancers forward. The entire reason that I went forward with them rather than pivoting back to the right flank was only because they were not inspired. And if he so chose to put all the lightning bolt into them, then they're just dead for trading phantoms for blade dancers, which is a great trade on his part. So put them into a bad position meant that I killed the fiends in the following turn. Still not entirely convinced it was the right choice, but I feel like statistically it was probably slightly favored, but I don't know.
Yeah. Really, my biggest that one was okay, so you pick up the phantoms and that's good. It really, my only big play qualm was the impalers on the right side. If the butchers had to spend an extra turn getting around that building, that makes such a huge difference this game, because you're just able to sweep so hard so fast that by the time the butchers get back around, he's having to choose either scoring or wiping out the army. But at that time, Adam had nothing in the center left. Adam was down to just the mind screeches and a regiment of butchers, and the terror was facing the wrong way.
See, that's the idea with this list, though. This list actually gives up the center. That's the actual plan. Is to give up the center to concave.
Right, but if the butchers hadn't been able to get around a turn faster, which they were only able to do because the impalers gave them a charge.
Yeah, the only difference that would have made would have been there'd have been an extra unit in the middle, which was heavily damaged as well, for a shade to charge into. So it might have it swings and roundabouts we're talking about here.
I think Mark would have had a good chance of winning the game had he committed his soulbanes earlier into chaffing, into killing your shooting rather than chaffing combat units. He had the tools. I think. I don't think it was list on list that problematic, but there was some questionable choices in there. Especially the one that I saw, and Mark called that one out really early too, before it even happened. The top of 5, the fiends into the butcher hordes, where you set yourself up in a way where in the front you were unlikely to kill him, and you were definitely going to give him a flank.
Yep.
That was a really bad move, I think. And I think had that not happened, you would have had a lot of unit strength still to, for him, have to target prioritize other units rather than completely shoot you off the table in the end, I think.
So not charging my Fiend Horde in.
I mean, I think you had to. I don't think that was a choice at that point.
That's
that
was my sense of it as well. Is that it wasn't preferred by any sense, but
right. Did you on turn 3? Did you when Adam spent a while trying to pivot all the Mind Screeches at the top so that you couldn't get the fronts? Did you did see that you could still get in the front right there, right? Because when he killed that Butcher Regiment, I was like, me and Matt were both like, dude, if he kills that Butcher Regiment, he just spent 4 minutes getting these pivots for no reason. Because you could have gone around with your Soul Blade to the south, because you could see the Mind Screeches. They're height 5. You could have just pivoted down around your units and brought them back up, and still got a front charge on the middle or the right one, and still disordered them.
Nope.
And then
I did not see that.
Yeah, you'll see it. You'll go back and watch it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was funny because
most people don't notice. I was like, I don't know if he's going to notice it or not, but
I mean, it was clever play because Adam was like, oh, so the Butcher Regiment blocks his charge as long as I position them angling this way. And I was like, he's perfectly positioning it as long as that Butcher Regiment doesn't die, which he's flanking with a Terror.
Right, and which is going to die, 100%.
Yeah, that's pretty much guaranteed. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, one thing, not to harp on it too much, but I did think on turn 5 or 6 of like, man, when he shot my Sharpness Fiends off the table with that 11 to break.
Yep.
I was like, if they were even wavered that turn, that like,
all they need to do was exist.
I even thought, like, when I moved both the Inspiring Crone up and then Shaft with the Soulbane behind, I was like, I know that I'm not inspiring this whole back line, but like, he's got cover against things. Like, it's gonna do 4 wounds. It's probably fine. Like, I can take 1 turn without this being inspired, but then spiking high on the damage and then the high nerve roll to kill them. Really hurt.
And then in the same fucking the following turn you roll. In the following turn, you roll a Snake Eyes on his Reaper Soul Drinker. It was just insult on injury.
It were a 9, which is not ridiculous on odds.
I think that was still an important kill, though, because that would have been an entire extra quadrant.
Yeah. Let's be honest, any kill's an important kill.
Yeah, when you're down to like 3 units that can score,
it's
and you
not
pick one of them up.
It's not the fact it were a boxcar killer, it was a 9, so it's a 9 uninspired. So it's the fact it was uninspired that lost that, because inspiring is effectively +2.
Sure, but even getting
9 to an 11.
Even getting those 8 wounds to begin with, though, I mean, you're on 24 on 5s. That's what 6 hits should be. 4 wounds on 3s.
It's not looking at it like that though, because if you look at the lightning bolt across the game, it's
sure,
about average for what I've done across the game. Oh no, I agree. You can't do it from a turn by turn basis. It's a game by game basis.
It's more of killing them in that 1 turn. They could have been dead through to lightning bolts altogether. I agree. But
Exactly.
Anyway.
Yeah, I think one thing we could probably all agree on is that the Mind Screeches were pretty much MVPs.
Well, this list is actually just a Mind Screech delivery system.
Yeah.
If you look at the entire list, it's all chaff. There's 17 drops, for God's sake. I'm 5 drops above Marc from the beginning. And it's
only 4.
Well, 4 drops for 5 units.
Yeah.
And it's as long as I can trade efficiently, trade 1 for 1 or 2 for 1. That's where MSU starts playing its advantage.
Yeah, well, it was definitely a great game. It was very entertaining and very well played by both of you. Thanks so much for letting us watch that. Congratulations,
ties it back up,
Adam.
1-1.
It does. That brings us to 1-1, 1 win for each after 2 matches. Coming up tomorrow, we have the other 2 matches in this little club challenge. Tomorrow afternoon, the first game is going to be some guy named Dan versus some guy named Tom. I don't know if they're any good or not. You'll have to tune in and find out. And then after that, basically, it's the same schedule as today all over again tomorrow. I got Padzor Allen versus Jonathan Quayle, which should also be an excellent match to watch. Does anybody have any further questions for our players? Nope. All right. Any comments from the players before we sign off?
Yeah, it was a good game.
Great time. Thanks for having me.
Good
Definitely
game.
a fun game to watch, y'all.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I always enjoy playing MSU. Always. Because people don't play it often enough, so they don't usually know all the angles and all the threats, and it's just different. It's different from the grindy meta that I've been playing.
You would call this MSU?
This is definitely
I
MSU.
You had like 5 hordes, dude.
Don't matter.
What's MSU?
MSU's
Multiple small units.
small units, but
Right. None of those
Yeah, he
units are
has
small.
4 individuals. Those are small. 4 individuals.
yeah.
They're all very small.
The thing is, though, the Scarecrow hordes are 130 points, so it's a small investment.
Okay. I mean, if you want to judge it by points, sure.
Yeah, it's multiple cheap units.
There we go.
Yeah. MCU.
MMU is probably more accurate.
There we go.
Yeah.
I was going to say, I wouldn't call those Mind Screeches small.
Yeah. Well, they're cheap. 150.
Yeah. Yeah, they're so cheap.
All right. Well, thanks so much,
All
guys. I'd like to thank Adam and Mark for letting us watch their game. I would also like to thank the commentators, Matt Carmack, Rashad Navidi, and Trident King himself, Jeff Swan. And I'd like to thank everybody that watched this game at home or anybody that's watching it after the fact. I hope you've enjoyed this game. Tune in tomorrow for the last 2 to find out who wins the club challenge, either the Northern Kings or the Tabletop Titans. And until next time, I'm your host, Mike Atkins, saying you guys stay safe out there, and we'll see you next time on Dash 28 Live.
Cheers, guys.
Take care.